I think this is going to be where all the blood and fire and guts come out.
Yeah, I mean, there's no second winner in the World War. Trust me, I'm German, I know.
Yeah. So I did cool things like sleeping and stuff yesterday.
Yeah,
so,
I didn't.
So Gabriel's gonna fill us in, and me included, on exactly what happened yesterday, because the map changed quite a bit since the first time.
Yeah, so in Europe, you can see there was a little bit of a reshuffling of borders in Italy. So our very own Breton, playing as the French commune, pushed into Italy. The Austro-Hungarians, under the spiffing Brit, tried to get some territory. Couldn't quite break the Italian defenses, had to make do with just taking South Tyrol. But they made up for it by taking over Yugoslavia and then large parts of Greece, capturing quite a bit of equipment in the process. So we'll see what he's going to turn that into. On the other side, Quill 18 recovered very nicely. He was in a pretty weak position when the last session started, and I doubted him. I no longer doubt him.
Yeah, I see he's spouting a fantastic mustache now,
Yes.
as Wilhelm II.
And the wild card allies, particularly Daniel, decided to take a little vacation in Scandinavia, take home the motherland. Took over Norway and Sweden, and from what I understand is going to push into Denmark next. On the other end of the world, Team Japan, led by Drew and supported by
it's Shen, right?
Shen, yes, in Manchukuo, went to war with China, did not advance very far into China.
In fact, it looks like China's maybe taken 2 provinces or so since I last looked.
This northern front has been very static for the last couple of years, I guess now. Neither side really willing to push forward and take territory. The Chinese from time to time launching some attacks, just checking if keeping the Japanese on their toes, grinding out some land experience to reform their army. And we should probably mention that Team China, that is Alex the Rambler in Nationalist China, the Prussian Prince in Xinjiang, and Mabuzir in Communist China. And the eagle-eyed of our viewers will notice that Communist China is slightly bigger than it was yesterday. Apparently there was a little confusion where the Team China expected Jiangxi to actually refuse an order to become a puppet, so they could declare war and feed that to Mabuzir, and we have rectified this error.
I see they're about to rectify Tibet there as well.
Yes, they decided that, free Tibet's all nice and good, but not for us. On the other side of that border, the British Raj tried to go for a quick victorious war in Iran. They've been hoping for a quick victorious war for a couple of months now, so they turned around, took over Nepal and Bhutan, because why not?
Have they managed to leave subject status now? Are they free?
Yes, they are free. That
and
is
they're
something.
in faction McFascist phase.
Yes, because of course they are. And the last member of Team Japan, Centralist Australia, has been taking over Indonesia bit by bit, and the Kiwi Empire also has broken free, was broken free by Def Fiat. So Australia might make a play for that and take that over. Yeah. Are we missing anyone? No,
I think that's it, right?
Yes.
As long as you come. What's happened with Spain? Are they?
They are still.
They are not joined any factions or anything?
They have not. They are still in a non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union and France, and we'll see what they'll do. I mean, this doesn't look like very much, non-aggression to me.
Well, the AI is going to prepare a plan. It doesn't mean it, look at America. It had plans against Canada and everything.
But they're not preparing a plan against Portugal, so I don't know.
But Portugal is neutral, right?
Yes, so is France, technically.
Well, but France is, but they're major and scarier than Portugal, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess with that we can start running.
Yeah, if they hear us.
or someone can tell them. We are really well prepared for this. We have our technical consultant
Yes.
with us.
He will handle...
We're just ironing out some kinks, and then we'll get going.
All right, and
So
we'll roll
talk
it.
among yourselves.
All right.
Yeah, there we go.
So they're up and running?
Yes, they are.
Cool.
So what do you think? Who's gonna strike first?
Okay, so I need to actually have a look, so how strong people are, because Quillsnap is still running light tanks, I see.
But he's transitioning to mediums quite aggressively.
Yeah. He's got almost 100 divisions, and let's have a look at them. They are big and not very artillery, but yeah.
Interesting. He's justifying against the Netherlands and against Denmark.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's going to be a Denmark left for him to take over, because they're... Well, the British Empire has a war goal against them. So...
Yeah.
They might just decide to push for that.
There's some interesting divisions here in in Hungary as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think someone has a lot of equipment.
Yes.
I heard he got a lot from taking Greece, right?
Yes, I said so. But we heard rumblings that China actually might be interested in some of that equipment.
Oh, they're being lend-leased.
Yes. Soviet Union also supporting China through Lend-Lease by Lend-Leasing transport planes.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Did not see that coming.
Yeah, but I mean, China's looking pretty decent. It's a fairly expensive kind of cool divisions. I'm not sure they actually need their anti-air. I don't know if Japan actually has built up its air force that much. But yeah.
Meanwhile, Australia has decided to, retake the Kiwi Empire.
I actually was looking at the rush when I said China. I was like, wait, only? China, on the other hand, has a huge
our
army.
game director, everyone.
Well, it's both have red flags, and when you're observing, there's a giant binoculars over the top parts. So.
Yes.
Anyways,
And the British Empire decides to go for Denmark.
Yep. But yeah, looking at the rush though, they got fairly high quality divisions. China has a lot of divisions, but they're not all very high quality. So we'll see. Depends on the size of the fronts, how that measures up. And that's Tibet gone.
Yes, but since they joined the Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere, which I pronounced absolutely correctly the first try.
I am very impressed.
I know, right?
I'm just gonna go with the Japanese sphere from now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on a high note. And the Kiwi Empire also decided to become a part of the Chinese United Front, which makes sense. I mean, they're basically next door, right?
Yeah. And I guess so. I mean, was there some kind of second emu war going on here?
I think it's the emu against this Kiwi war, and
Yep.
no offense to the Kiwis, but I think that's going to be very one-sided.
Probably, yes. Yeah, they got up to 17 divisions in Australia now.
Yeah.
And they're...
Took over most of Indonesia, so they have quite a bit of resources.
Yep.
Japan, actually.
Japan got a bunch of it. I mean...
Yeah.
If you look at resources here, in fact, this is something that's changed a bit here. Someone's used to. How much did we used to have in British Malaya? Or someone actually have they built that up? Oh, they have built it up. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's maxed out. This is an area that used to have a lot of resources, and now does, but you have to build it up quite a bit from start as well if you want to leverage all of those resources.
I think it's balanced around having the same amount of resources as it has in 1.4 at level 6 infrastructure, I believe.
I think that's one we actually went even higher on. Because 6 was the average, right?
Yeah, it's very possible.
I think they were on like 7 or something for the same.
Anyone researching nukes? Well, not the Rush.
It's a little early for that, but I guess, and the allies are, they're the ones who can kind of get it early with all the joint help. But I guess they're, being fascist and sort of falling apart. I'm not sure. But are they researching?
No.
Yeah.
Looking fairly reasonable.
I mean, the war is sort of in early, so in fact, I'm looking at Daniel's techs, and most of them are sort of behind, almost. He's getting 40 techs, and still some 39 stuff here. Actually doing level 2 engineers.
Probably looking to assault across some rivers, I guess.
Yeah.
And you as volunteers have arrived to help out Denmark, who is holding its own in Copenhagen.
Yeah, I mean...
It's a shameful display, Daniel.
Yeah.
For Sweden.
The Germans are justifying as well against Denmark, but they're not gonna probably pull that off. The only finish is in June, and it's March now, so...
Depends. If Daniel can't break them soon, then there might actually be a Denmark left.
Think so?
I could see that.
Yeah. I am not sure. Oh, maybe. Danish actually looking... if you look at the Danish defenders, there is actually American volunteers here.
Yeah.
Helping
I just
out.
noticed.
So I was like, wow, they're actually doing fairly okay, but it's Americans. The Red Bull division's there.
And they got some Red Bull.
Yes. Alert and awake.
Interesting.
So yeah, I don't think Daniel counted on that.
The Raj is trying a naval invasion to get around the front line of Iran.
Yeah.
Which might actually slowly grind down the defenders, because the AI actually now defending ports pretty well. The new garrison AI quite capable.
We actually fixed 2 really cool things with it today as well.
Oh yeah,
so it's now even better.
The thing where it kept shuffling divisions around because didn't actually assign a priority value.
Yep.
Nice.
So that's much more stable now, which is sweet.
No, chat. Germany cannot have bicycle divisions. I guess they could have them if Japan sends some volunteers or expeditionary forces over.
Yeah. For now, only Japan gets bicycles.
Yeah.
Because it's a thing we unlock from focus trees. I think there's several other countries where it does make sense. But it's a little special. I mean, maybe one day we can put it in the regular tech tree as well.
I think it
and then give Japan like research bonuses or something.
Yeah, I think it would make sense in the doctrine tree somewhere.
Yeah, bicycle doctrines. Then you're gonna have to go. I don't know what the doctrine's called. Cykeltolkning, we call it in Swedish. When
that's
you
the
can
upgraded version.
Where you transport a lot of troops by having a rope and going behind the truck. It's kind of efficient.
Oh, the Americans have pulled out of Copenhagen, and the British are actually advancing.
I noticed Daniel's got some like kind of nice tanks going as well.
Yep.
I wish he had cooler names for them though. Tank Brigade. What's up with that?
It's certainly not a brigade anymore.
No, no, it's not. But yeah, he's going for pretty good. I like this stuff. He knows that nobody else has tanks. There's no anti-tank power here. It's just soft attack.
Yeah, no one has really made concentrated use of tanks so far.
I think Daniel's the first one, so that's going to be interesting. The problem is, I guess, the theater, right? Because if he's going to go fight in China, that's not the greatest in the mountains.
No.
But if he's going to take out France and Germany, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, on the other hand, Germany's pushing quite a bit of medium tanks as well. Like they have 25 or 24 factories on medium tanks.
Yeah, actually I'm going to have a look at the Panzer Division template. I mean, yeah, it's sort of transitioning.
Yeah, 20 with classic, I guess.
Yeah, I'll probably put a few less light tanks and some more motorized maybe, but I'm not sure.
The AUK value is not spectacular.
Yeah, but then it depends what you use it for. Yeah. So
I guess if you push the enemy back, then
it doesn't.
You don't really need all that much AUK, right?
And he's got a very decent amount of regular stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
So his cavalry is that actual suppression. Yeah. AI, by the way, I don't know if we forgot that. We wrote the AI diary at the same time, so we were messing around with our release testing as well.
Oh, it's been a very
So it was
chaotic
very
week.
hectic week. So I actually forgot to say, I think that the AI now can manage two kinds of garrison templates actually.
Oh, nice.
So it differentiates between suppression and guarding ports and stuff like that. So it's much more efficient with that.
And interestingly, Austria-Hungary wants to conquer Gotland from the British Empire.
I mean, of course.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, I was gonna say the British Gotland. It sounds very strange to me.
Yeah.
I think they did that to mock us.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't know if the Austro-Hungarian Marine Corps can take that.
No.
They've not impressed me thus far.
Did they even have Marines?
Historically, I think they may have
Is
had
this
some.
the division thing that is some sort of devil creature? No. Oh, that's the gigantic infantry one. That's
Yeah, I
right.
suppose those are supposed to be for defensive purposes.
Yeah, that's a lot of infantry equipment. I mean, for that kind of stuff, you can push with it as well, probably. But it's I don't know if that's really cost effective, unless you do happen to have a very, very large amount of infantry equipment, which he
Say
does.
600k.
Say 600k, which is substantial.
Oh, Portugal joins faction McFascist phase.
Oh,
So I guess Daniel decided to call them in through unique decisions that the British get.
yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know if he really needed tungsten.
Well, it's still tungsten that other people can't get anymore, right?
That's true.
Very often denying something to the enemy just as useful.
Yeah. We've actually tweaked the AI for that as well a bit. So a lot of the resource-rich nations, like for example Portugal, doesn't really close down their trade laws as much anymore, because it is very nice to have the lower ones, because it benefits them more with having good industry from the exports and stuff.
Hmm.
And Daniel is not really taking Copenhagen. I mean, why
Yeah.
isn't he invading or something around here?
I don't know.
Does he not have? I mean, is he
He's-
so afraid he doesn't want to move his fleet from from his coast to help
I mean,
out?
once
I mean, even so, he could even position them here and get, support from naval bombardment too.
yeah.
Like even one battleship would
But
probably
it
help.
looks like he just has it all on defending his coast.
Yeah,
I guess he might be worried that if he ever puts them,
I mean,
puts...
does Germany have a fleet?
Not really.
They're, a bit of a fleet. Some destroyers and 3 battleships.
Clearly hasn't been a focus, so...
No, and I was gonna say the Italian Navy, but there's no more Italian Navy.
No.
Question is,
And-
what about the French Navy? Do you have one?
Germany also doesn't really have
This one's
naval bombers. They're like 1,000 naval bombers down in the drain.
Yeah, the French Navy is substantial though,
Yes,
so maybe he's afraid.
that's
But-
very possible.
But they don't really have war goals or anything, so he'd get some warning. I think, unless there's a focus or something you can take fast. I don't think so.
To go to war with the Britain?
Yeah.
Not in that tree branch, I believe.
No. Oh.
Focusing on rocketry now, I suppose. Maybe Quill actually wants to push for nukes.
Maybe it does. That would be cool though.
Yep.
I think the Kaiser would approve of nukes. As long as they're directed towards Wilhelm II is angered by Danish posturing,
It's a very relatable feeling, I guess.
I know. Yeah, we should have had Jacob here as well, promoter of Denmark. I still have his Danish flag nearby. Nobody wants to take it from me at the office.
Yeah, everyone, every nationality that is represented on the Hoy team has its own national flag.
Yep.
In the team area, and I guess he's technically still on the team. So
Yeah, but the flag is now next to me, so it's like I'm promoting the Danish flag. Well, I've got the British
Oh.
flag as well, so
Looks like the Kiwis managed to push back
Yeah.
the Australian invasion on the southern tip.
yeah. Quill is doing paratrooper research as well, so maybe
Huh.
he's planning some sneaky stuff.
I mean, what's the relative strength in the air?
In the air, let's find out.
So Daniel has about 1.2k fighters, give or take. Not a whole lot
Yeah.
of bombers.
I mean, they got like 1,300 fighters, over 1,000 tactical bombers, and over 1,000 CAS.
And Austria-Hungary adds another 400.
Yeah.
So they could probably get air superiority.
Yep. And German Empire is now attacking Denmark,
I did not expect that to.
and has called the North African Reich Protectorate in.
Oh, so they're at war with the British Empire now?
No, but
Oh, right, because they what the hell is going on?
what do you mean?
This is Libya, and they're in the wasteland, and for some reason they instantly capitulated and were occupied by the British Empire.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Let's test that in a save game later.
Yes. Oh, 98%,
Do they maybe start with like no?
99. No, they have no victory points, and I guess the
that would be
way
why then.
the way the wasteland is coded, it doesn't actually count as your territory.
No, we should probably move them about a bit then. So the Americans are still here, stopping everybody's plans. Actually, it's kind of interesting. So now they're stopping Quill here. But yeah. But since Germany and Britain are actually war, they're gonna get to split Denmark, I guess.
Yeah.
So let's see exactly who's got the.
Oh, that's interesting. They're in the same battle, so it's German divisions pushing
Fighting side by side.
with the British.
I wonder if this is gonna lead to some kind of future stuff. Because I'm
Oh.
looking at the piece, and they're about equal on participation
Mhm.
here.
And it appears we lost the Australian player due to an internet
Whoops.
issue.
Well, we can use the magic technology of hot joining to bring him back.
Well, if the internet is out for a while, then he might not be
Yeah.
back for a moment.
I was gonna say internet is not very good in Australia, but I realize he's not actually from Australia.
No, he's from France.
Yes.
Oh, he's going to rejoin in a moment.
Ex-
We'll take a few minutes. So,
Yeah.
Intermission topic number 1. Your favorite tank.
My favorite tank, and this is tricky. So, my favorite historical tank is the Panther, I think.
I
And
disagree, but
not because it is amazing, because it's it was not the best tank I think in World War II,
Mhm.
but it just looks really cool.
I will give it that.
If we go game tanks, it's gonna be like one of the Russian tanks probably. I prefer playing them in games. I like having big guns and
Mhm.
charging people. It's my preferred strategy.
I mean, the meme tank is the Bob Sample, obviously.
Yes.
It has a very special place in my heart.
I mean, the Bob Sample is funny. I don't know if everybody knows the story, but it was like a weird propaganda stunt, right?
Well, they noticed that the Japanese were advancing south, and they went like, what really.
Oh wait, this is New Zealand. What
New
am I
Zealand,
doing?
yes. They basically went. You know what really helps with defending? If you have tanks. So they took a
Yeah.
tractor. It's a first light tank.
Yeah, but I just wanted to show Big Bob down here because
Yes.
that's
Also nice.
it's beautiful thing.
And I think it was just a guy lying on his stomach with a Bren gun was the main armament for the
Yeah,
Bob Sample. It's pretty
and I think the description was, it was almost bulletproof, right?
good. Almost certainly bulletproof.
The interesting thing though is there was some. I think they were trying to compensate, right? Because everybody else was getting the spotlight too.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did a lot of tank designing. You have the Schofield tank as well,
Yeah.
which I think is actually a really good design.
For the role at least, yes.
For the role, right? Because it had sort of road wheels,
Mm-hmm.
so it was quite effective to, move around on the roads and things like that fast. I don't think it had much armor.
But then again, in a light tank, you really don't need armor. You're not supposed to
No.
be in a slugging match with heavy anti-tank weaponry.
And also, if someone's gonna land on New Zealand, they're probably not gonna bring a lot of armor that can
No.
protect them either.
I think
So having a mobile tank that can support you is probably quite good.
yeah, and I mean, it's really having a tank when the other guy doesn't have a tank means you basically win automatically. So having any kind of tank.
Unless you do the Japanese thing and sort of just charge them with people that because the thing is, tanks, once you get close enough, they can't really defend themselves very well.
You've read the German anti-tank manual. It says like an attack with close range weaponry by a sufficiently determined man basically always succeeds.
Yep.
And I guess if they die, then that they just weren't sufficiently determined.
Well, you can also just lie yourself under the tank and detonate a mine or something.
Oh yeah, getting run over by a tank. If that's plan A, maybe you need a plan B.
Plan B could be the guy behind you with
who's also lying down.
Yes. Yeah. My other favorite tank story is from reading, I think it's Tank Destroyer by, and now I can't remember the guy's name. He's a Russian tank destroyer commander.
Interesting.
Where he was commanding a T-85.
T-3485.
No, tank destroyer one, the conversion.
Oh, then it's a Su-85, I guess.
Yeah, that's how tired I am because I forgot the titles. These anyway.
Can no
And he
longer
was
tank.
standing up, and someone threw a grenade to go into the tank, right?
Uh-huh.
And it bounced off his head, knocking him unconscious. And when he woke up, the people were like, "Oh, you saved us, man!" Because it bounced out of the tank.
Hero of the motherland.
Yeah, I could recommend that book. It's very good.
Yeah.
Several really good Russian books actually written by people on the ground.
Yeah, I think another good one is Guns Against the Reich, I believe.
Yeah, the one with the artillery.
Yeah.
That's a very good one too. And I guess if you want similar from the German side, you have Tigers in Mud.
Oh, I remember reading that. I think I put it down
Yeah.
pretty quickly because he made some very tasteless jokes, I believe, about committing war crimes.
I don't remember that.
No, there's a joke where he goes like, "Oh, I committed such a bad war crime because I think a pig ran onto the firing range and they blew it up," and he goes like, "Oh."
I don't remember that. Are you sure?
I think it was Tigers in the Mud, but I might be mistaken.
It's the one where they're in the Czech tanks and they think they're pretty good until he has to pick pieces of Czech tanks out of his face,
Oh.
basically. Because they can't really stand up to the Russian armor, anti-tank weapons. So do we have any intel? How's it going with him reconnecting?
What's his internet doing?
Yeah. I don't know. The chat is calling
No
for...
intel
what was it? Some kind of South American thing here. We got nobody in South America.
Tiger in the Mud by Mark Twain. I would read Tiger in the Mud by Mark Twain.
I mean, there's actually a Ghibli-ish cartoon version of Tigers in the Mud.
Oh
even.
yeah, I saw that.
And it's got pigs instead of humans. Yeah. Alright, let's see if I can... Anything people are interested in? We can go see what the American AI is up to, I guess. I take no responsibility for what this AI has been up to. It's researching light tanks and logistics companies and things. Let's see what kind of... I mean, now we're in really dangerous territory. I haven't started looking at their template design yet. Looks... It's a...
It's solid. It's
kind
a
of
classic.
kind of standard there. And yeah, see, do they have any interesting
Apparently,
decisions they can take?
Apparently, Enter-Elysium is wondering if you can leave your faction team, asking for a friend. Ha! Ha!
I mean,
Ha!
rules said no, but
I guess you would have to leave your war first before you can leave your faction, right?
no, not necessarily. But you probably can't switch sides in the war. But you could leave the faction, I guess. But you're not gonna get
No,
out
you
of the
can't.
war necessarily.
Not allowed when
without...
fighting war together.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
So they would have to beat Iran first, and then he wants to ditch Daniel.
Why would he ditch Daniel?
Well,
Okay. Except for the obvious reasons, but oh, Snaposaurus. Yeah. But yeah, he's doing some doctrines and stuff. Not sure. Let's find out. Because I actually saw that Japan was doing the bicycle stuff.
ooh.
And we got them over here, bicycle battalion. So let's see if he's
Oh,
actually designed. Has he designed some bicycles? Oh, you don't get one for free.
No, you don't.
Let's see. Has he put them somewhere? No.
No.
Oh, where are the bicycles?
Nope.
And sadly, with Observer, I can't design the bicycle thing. I guess I could co-op in, but let's not do
No.
that.
Let's just not. Still hasn't taken any decisions.
No.
No. he has
No, not even the Steel for Guns one.
Nope.
Anyone who is what we got now? 2 weeks until release? Something? 3?
Mhm.
Something? Anyone playing Japan there? So here's a tip how you should do it. You should decide.
Oh, apparently there's
your-
diplomacy going on in the Japan chat. So maybe we can
Yeah,
jump
go for
into
it.
the.
That sounds
Yeah,
it.
holy shit, did he?
Yeah.
It's okay. India's got lots. He's fine.
Hello guys.
Hey,
We're-
guys.
Studio is here spying now.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh,
No.
hey.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
And nothing to see here.
So,
No.
so what's
Yeah,
this
jungle
diplomacy
faction.
going on?
We're all
So-
abiding by the rules.
We're not declaring war on the stream at all.
We were listening to Daniel throw a tantrum and break things in.
That sounds pretty good. I mean, anything that makes Daniel throw a tantrum is basically allowed.
Like that Hitler movie meme with Daniel's face right
Oh.
Yes.
The communists and the monarchists are going to declare war against each other.
Ready up, guys.
My heated, they're justifying against you.
Jay's Gaming?
Yeah.
Did the AI take over for a second?
That's very possible.
I don't think it on pause.
All right,
Okay.
guys, we're off.
Thank
Okay.
you
Alright.
for waiting.
Goodbye.
Yes, if you need a
Bye.
minute to set up if the AI took over for a tick.
Go on, shoo, get out.
We have bad words to say.
No. We won't tell anyone.
No, and that was
Everybody watching the stream, just don't tell anyone what they say. I think we got kicked out. Oh.
Denmark.
We wouldn't have said anything.
No.
Wow. I don't think...
But someone in chat asked if we have any plans for armored car units, and well,
yes.
we don't have concrete plans, but we have plans.
We have sort of plans.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, I keep trying to sell Dan on the Great Tech Tree revamp of 2018, but he keeps saying no. So I'm just gonna tell it, tell the stream, so we actually have to do it.
Damn it. I don't completely say no. I just,
No.
we have to do it in parts.
Yeah.
It also depends a little bit how we want to do armored cars, right? There's several ways you can do it. You could just have them as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, we could kind of change how recon works. I'm just randomly saying stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of break that into more of a mechanic where the composition of your recon unit matters and things like
Yeah.
that. And then that's a good place to have armored cars, right?
And might also be a place to put, old light tanks.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually have a value later in the game.
Or newer light tanks too, right?
Yes.
Oh,
That's another 200k of equipment. That's whoa.
Yeah. Maybe we need to scale down the percentage you get now when the AI is much better at buffering up.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Does your observer mode still work? Because mine's glitched out.
Is it? Who are you trying to observe?
I'm pressing control and clicking Germany like the map. But no, you seem to be
You
working good.
haven't accidentally become Japan, have you?
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm no longer in observer mode. So I'm just gonna drop out here real quick.
Yeah, and join back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch out when you're clicking near the top so you don't accidentally.
It was not at all a coup against Drew.
Yeah.
That's Stellaris propaganda.
Yeah. So Britain. There we go. I guess that's you hot joining back in.
No, I'm not.
Who
Oh, the spiffing Brit
Spiff.
apparently was dropped for some reason.
internet troubles. And he's in. And I guess you're in soon. I was gonna say don't show your password, but it doesn't matter because you can't join this anyway.
Yeah, you would have to download the branch. So
Yeah, so
that's the actually safe password.
well, you actually have to own the DLC as well.
Yeah.
So doesn't matter if you had access, you'd have to somehow buy it before you can buy it. Well, you can pre-order it, but that doesn't mean the keys work yet.
Mm-hmm.
Pork says pre-order. Look into its eyes. It gets a percentage. Everybody gets a percentage.
Yes.
All
we
right.
actually do. And
now we refix ourselves,
please.
please. Yeah, we were debating whether or not to update this build today, but we figured
Yeah.
it's safer to keep in the same one for the
Yeah.
entire multiplayer. All right, everybody's back in, I think, right?
Yes. Should be. Spiffing Brit just has to ready up.
And here we go. Because I'm gonna see if what is. Oh yeah. So
And I'm co-oping with. I didn't even.
did you accidentally?
Oh no! I'm I'm desyncing. Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna restart
Be
again.
really careful with
I think it's
with the
something wrong with the hot join. If you hot joined as an observer.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So let's rehost.
rehosting.
I'm just gonna save just in case it's useful.
Huh.
Who decided to name the save file Quill Bashing?
I think that was Drickus.
I think Quill's been doing really well in this
Yeah,
game.
he has. Like, he struggled a bit with the Civil War,
Yeah.
and then he got this close to being declared on by the Comintern.
Yeah. I mean, the French were oh, sorry, the French. I mean, the Japanese actually sent volunteers to mess with him in the
Yeah.
Civil War too. Which I think backfired because that meant that both of them lost the Spanish.
Oh, it's because Quill is doing the bashing. That makes a lot of
Ah, I
sense.
see.
So, hello. Can I?
All right. It's a race. Who can get in first?
Ah,
The server's not even up yet.
don't Drickus. Hurry up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should also be said that this code is pretty hot.
It's super hot. I mean, this version is from before we started QA testing our launch build, so it doesn't really have. We did some play session on the afternoon,
Mhm.
but it got a little tight in between release. But we felt like we really want to do a multiplayer session. I'm sure it will work out. So far, I think it's fine. It's just been. It's a little annoying to have to rehost, but as long as we extend for a couple of minutes, we still get the playtime out. But it's been random. The first one we managed to play the full 2 hours with no problems.
Well, we had some.
Well, yeah,
some-
on the start when nobody had, someone needed to restart the computer, but
Yeah. Yes, the technical consultant is chewing on the cables. I knew it. I mean, that's job security for you, right?
yeah, almost center it. There we go. Almost looks like he's got a little chair going here. Like,
Yeah.
is that a fake chair you put behind him?
No, it's actually there.
Oh right. Wow, that's it's
What-
optical illusion.
What animal is the technical consultant supposed to be? Hand in your nerd card, I guess.
Yeah, hand in your nerd card, or your true nerd that doesn't watch any of the new Star Wars movies.
Oh, so you're a hipster nerd.
I don't know if the hipster nerd is called old school. I think. I mean, the original are the best by miles and miles. We can make the stream into me bashing all the new Star Wars movies instead, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
The next break? No, maybe not.
Episode 1 best Star Wars. Blondie, don't say these things. This is a family-friendly stream.
No! You're misusing the communication channel.
Yes.
Blondie is typing things about the Phantom Menace that should not be said aloud.
That said, I watched a YouTube video that said the pod racer scene to what's it called, Initial D
Yeah,
soundtrack was actually pretty watchable.
it's true. But I think that was already a game, and it was called what's it? No, actually, what is it called? Oh, all right. So Christian thinks this is a great time to explain our launch process. So I guess I can do that.
Do we have a launch process?
Well, I mean, for how we sell the game, right?
Okay.
Not how we start this. That's about waiting for. I guess I'm not sure who we're waiting for right now. Actually,
Shen
Shen.
hasn't ready yet.
All right. So the way it works is a couple of weeks before release, we freeze down our builds, which means people don't touch stuff they're not supposed to touch. Except Gabriel keeps adding more event texts and stuff.
I do not.
You
I
do, totally
add
do.
historical, tech icons.
Yes, that too. And then QA starts testing, and they test for 2 or 3. I mean, we have QA that tests all the time, but this is like a central part of QA that do our sort of verification that goes.
They
You know,
basically have to sign off on
They
stuff
have to
that
sign
we
off
have
on
made.
it, basically. And they test for 3 weeks or so. So usually it's 1 week, then 1 week break for us to fix any problems, and then 2 weeks. And then there is a few days. It's usually supposed to be 2 weeks extra in between. But depending on like scheduling, it can be shorter. So this time it's like 5 days after they finish the testing, we sell the game. So they're sort of halfway through, but this build is from the day they started, so it doesn't have all the stuff to be been fixing. I think it's reasonably stable considering the not much testing except us doing multiplayer games locally on, which don't tend to have the same kind of issues because you're in the same room.
And on the same internet and all that.
Yeah. Same bat channel. So now you have your observer mode back?
It's here. If we'll see if someone hot joining changes it.
Yeah, might be something to check out actually. I don't know. We fixed some auto syncs with the hot join already, but maybe this is a different one.
Well, it's not
Who knows?
auto syncing. It's removing the observer mode.
Yeah, but someone else was right after
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Oh well, we shouldn't use the stream to.
Oh, interesting. The Chinese have actually pulled off an airborne invasion of this Dalian peninsula, which is now a Japanese enclave, so to speak. It's one of the new map changes we're adding to Awakening the Tiger. Well, to the patch. So conflicts.
Yes.
I keep confusing the two, honestly.
Yeah, it's.
But because during development we usually don't distinguish that much.
No, and we sort of. We honestly kind of decide towards the end what goes in what as well, quite a bit. We try to hit about a 50-50 spread on stuff. But I mean, it also depends what kind of features it is. But we try for some fairly even balance on that.
Yep.
I think Cornflakes actually has a lot of extra free stuff over the 50%. But
some really cool stuff.
This is interesting. So there's brave paratroopers going down here. And yeah. Will they be stopped by bicycles? I think that would be beautiful in a way. The thing is, though, we don't have a straight across here anymore, right? So you're gonna need, I remember early on we had a straight. Now you do actually need to do something about that Japanese Navy to get across.
Interesting. Japan.
Declared war on Soviet Union.
We didn't even notice that they were justifying to take northern Sakhalin.
That's a bit of a. Yeah, it's.
And Central Australia, and I don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean.
They're not wrong.
They're also trying to improve relations with America. I don't know if that's gonna work out. But China is trying to push again in here, but it does not really work. This is very tough area. I don't know if they built up fortifications as well.
No, they haven't. Not as such, anyway.
No, but it's still kind of tough area to push through.
But they landed paratroopers in Korea, which are now taking over the area.
Yeah. Slowly,
So
slowly but surely. Pyongyang is
And the Austro-Hungarian Empire just clears on Britain. Looks like some wars are kicking off.
Yeah, I'll have a look here in Europe and see what's going on, and you can keep an eye out on Korea there, see what happens.
Looks like
I mean, it's
the Germans are reconquering Jutland.
yeah, and Rexist Belgium has joined faction McFascist face, and I'm actually gonna toggle on faction map mode here so we can see Europe a bit better. And we got the Blorg Friendship Front here, who is actually they've changed color now, I guess, because depending on who I'm viewing. But yeah, they used to be pink. And Raj has joined the Hungarian-British War. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And
Did this happen over Denmark? Because I don't know if this front is the best place.
no, I think the original reason was to take Gotland.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you?
Looks like there's a lot of bombers going on here. I'm gonna need to check out those fighters. Let's see what Britain's up to. Can't actually switch observer mode while I'm in air mode. Yeah, there's... Oh, so Daniel's rebased most of his air in Sweden, actually,
Well, it's
to be able to reach.
yeah.
And he's rocking quite a lot. He's got a lot of casts here. He's got actually, I gotta say, this ace actually looks almost a little bit like Daniel. Do you agree?
Yeah, I can see that.
But he does seem to be getting pretty owned in the sky, actually. There's some pretty good fighters here too, I think. Yeah, he's got 190s now.
Yep. Probably updated to actually have increased agility too.
Yeah, versus Hurricanes
Yeah.
with really bad mission efficiency. So
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be pretty tough one. Just looking at the numbers, I don't think Daniel's gonna pull this off at all. And all this red color, let's switch to Quell instead, so we see this as green.
Yeah,
here we go. Here we go. Feels much better now, right?
The airborne invasion of Korea has not... It went a bit, market gardenish. There was one peninsula too far. They are very well established in Dalian. So...
Yeah, but I guess but they have not sent anything to stop them.
in Korea?
Yeah.
No, the Japanese are pushing back the paras.
Yeah.
And I guess the idea was that this would draw troops away from other areas, and it has succeeded in the sense that the Soviet Union is overrunning Manchukuo pretty much as they did historically, except 5 years early.
Nice. Stuff is going on. So,
Yep.
meanwhile in Europe, let me... rexist Belgium, not sexist Belgium.
It's been a long week.
It has been a long week. So, sorry for anyone in Belgium. This is clearly fascist Belgium, which was probably sexist. Has fallen, and I guess the Dutch are next here. Although that war goal isn't finishing for a while longer. And Daniel's basically got the crap kicked out of him, and Denmark's no longer his.
Did they manage to encircle any divisions?
I was unfortunately watching what was going on in Asia,
Yeah.
so I missed it. But I think they
Sylvester
just
was-
mainly got pushed back, actually. He seems to maybe have been fallen back, because there's 12 divisions here holding the line. And Quill's actually, oh, this is looking pretty good for Quill. He's got like 17 divisions of armor and is being supported by all sorts of stuff. I think Daniel's is gonna get a pretty tough time here.
Yeah.
He's got Rommel, who I guess is probably getting along better with the new leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And where we go, Trotsky has perished to an ice axe.
That's really barbaric, really.
Yeah, it is.
Meanwhile,
All that climbing gear.
the Japanese are slowly stabilizing the eastern front, and they have actually, I think, pretty successfully outflanked the Soviets through Mongolia, actually. So they have pretty much an open run. They could come around here and circle them.
Yeah, looks like a perfect place for some bicycles to go fast. As for Europe, they're starting to slow down now. Daniel's reinforced the stuff, I believe, and there is a naval battle going on outside because now the British Navy has actually come here to help out.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
So
I guess the High Seas Fleet is not long for this war again.
yeah, and at this point, Germany still has the air advantage. Not so much the naval advantage. So I don't know if they're going to be able to push through this here. It's looking quite a bit stronger on the on Daniel's side here.
Oh, and
So I think they're going to need to try and find another way across. I suspect they are going to start working the way towards the home island, perhaps.
and Republican Spain joins the Comintern. That is impressive.
Finally.
Yes, and first order of business, of course, is taking over Gibraltar
Yeah.
and overrunning Portugal.
So in 10 days, Quill finishes paratroopers, and that's going to be really interesting to see if...
Well, he still has to train them, right?
yeah, but if he just did it in case, or if that's part of a strategy he has, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. And now he's preparing Gibraltar's down.
So, losses in the British war. That is, the Brits lost $250,000.
Yeah.
To Austria-Hungary managed to get away with 155 dead.
Yeah.
The German Empire, 21,000.
But I wonder if we're going to see an Africa war as well.
Although some of the losses that Britain took in Iran. We now have a nice overview of who actually caused your
Yeah, that tooltip is
casualties.
awesome.
But man, that is almost a 1 to 10 kill ratio for the Germans. So I guess they did get some encirclements in.
Yeah, they must have.
In Denmark.
Or maybe might have forced some people to retreat into the ocean as well.
Well.
Oh,
and this Twitch chat notices the British fleet is now trapped in the Baltic because the Germans control the Straits.
Oh, right, that's true.
Oh, that is...
that is a conundrum for them, but I guess they're killing everything that's there, though. But that won't help them if they need them elsewhere. And now Quill has paratroopers.
Yeah, and I guess if
let's see how defended is the island there.
If Britain decides that it's
the
time
answer to that question is it is not defended at all because the entire fleet. And Daniel actually went. You should probably not split up your fleet so much to me today. And I wonder if he regrets not having some of that fleet stay back.
And Britain is planning for the next Norman invasion of.
Oh dear!
Of Britain.
This is going to be beautiful. How long until? He's running is from Africa. I am unclear why, but. Actually, Daniel does have. He's got his submarine fleet.
Oh yeah.
Off the Iberian coast, and they're sinking stuff. So at least some. If he's trying to invade through there, he's going to probably lose some.
And the battle in the Baltic is over. It's 18 destroyers for the combined monarchist communist fleet. Did not expect to say that sentence.
No.
Versus 4 for the British. That is.
Yeah. Both sides now have ships in. Oh yeah. I mean they continue fighting. There's still some bit bigger ships going on here.
Yeah.
And
meanwhile, the Soviet Union has decided to justify on Finland, probably to open up the front in Scandinavia against the British Empire.
Probably so. That's gonna take them only 65 days now as well.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see the French do a landing though.
Yeah, I don't see why he's not planning from the Channel coast.
Yeah. German subs are sinking a whole bunch of British convoys here in the Channel, now completely undefended.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I guess Daniel really wants to, take Copenhagen now.
And
I mean, he's actually lost the province. Yeah.
French fleet has found the British submarine fleet, and is doing not family friendly things to it.
Ouch. Is that off? Oh yeah, here we go.
Asia.
Yeah, so let's see what's going on in Asia.
Well, the front has a little stabilized for Manchukuo. They still lost most of the territory, and the Soviets sent reinforcements, so the thrust through Mongolia is not going quite as well. But the Chinese actually have not capitalized on the troops that were sent to the Eastern Front.
Yeah. The fronts, the fronts are a little unused to me. I was like, who are these guys here? And it's British Malayan troops who are fighting in Greece.
Oh, nice.
Against the Austro-Hungarians. Yeah. I don't think I have seen that before.
No. And the Japanese are launching a concerted assault to take back Dalian, which is a pretty nice naval base and pretty strategic location. But yeah, the quick war of movement is over. So
yeah, Daniel's managed to push back actually now, but the fleet is still trapped, very much so. So I think they're gonna need to be more clever. And so the issue, right, is that they can also not navally invade across here. So I think what they should be doing is they should try and go around on the outside and land up in Norway or something.
We should say that the Raj is taking over French Indochina, which is completely undefended. And I talked to Breton earlier today, and he said, "Yeah, it's not worth sending the troops over. They're just gonna sit in, low infrastructure areas, suffer attrition, and not when you have the monarchists breathing down your neck in Europe."
Yeah, but it seems to be going pretty well over there, though.
Yeah.
And yeah. Let's see what's actually happened here with the front. Manchukuo is slowly being lost. And yeah, I saw some co-workers walk by. I guess Daniel from Stellaris has won his game because he's looking very happy. They've been doing some board gaming here.
Alternatively quite drunk.
Yeah.
Or alternatively quite drunk. So we're watching, So if you have Stellaris questions, he's here. So we're watching the Central Blorg Friendship Front here, actually, run by Kaiser Wilhelm, which is completely historical.
News update. There was an aborted landing in Britain that was thrown back.
Yeah, that's right. So the French have been knocked back from invading Britain.
That is...
Daniel has a lot of troops.